Ever wondered if your alarm clock could be woke? What would it say? Rise and shine, it's time to dismantle the patriarchy. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Now let's dial it back a notch. What exactly does it mean to be woke? As you might have guessed, it's more than just an alarm clock with a social justice agenda. It's a term that's been buzzing around the internet, stirring up conversations and debates. And no, it's not about suddenly realizing you've been sleeping on the wrong side of the bed all your life. Woke culture, as it's called, is all about awareness. It's about opening your eyes to social and political injustices and being ready to challenge the status quo. Think of it as an intellectual alarm clock, nudging you to question, to probe, to engage. The term woke was born on the internet, making waves in the vast sea of hashtags and trending topics. So if woke culture started as an internet trend, does that make it the viral version of social justice? Let's dive in. Imagine woke culture going on a blind date with other ideologies. Would it be love at first sight or a disastrous dinner? Let's start with conservatism. Picture it, woke and conservatism sitting across from each other at a fancy restaurant. The candlelight flickers as woke passionately discusses social justice and the importance of inclusivity. On the other side of the table, conservatism, with its traditional values and emphasis on individual responsibility, chokes on its steak. They try to find common ground, but alas, the date ends with conservatism taking a rain check and woke left to foot the bill. Next up, woke and liberalism. They meet at a trendy coffee shop sipping on fair trade lattes. Woke is all about challenging societal norms, while liberalism nods, sipping its latte, agreeing on the importance of individual liberties and human rights. They share a lot in common, but woke's radical approach may be a bit too much for liberalism's taste. As the date ends, they agree to see each other again, but it's clear that woke is more interested than liberalism is. Finally, woke and socialism have a picnic in the park. They bond over their shared disdain for economic inequality and the power of the elite. But when woke starts talking about identity politics and intersectionality, socialism gets a bit lost. They enjoy their time together, but it's clear that they're not quite on the same page. So, what's the verdict? Well, woke's dates with conservatism and socialism were a bit of a disaster. And while woke and liberalism had some chemistry, it's clear that they're not quite ready to change their relationship status. In the grand scheme of things, it seems like woke culture is a bit of a lone wolf. Its radical approach to social justice and inclusivity is often too much for other ideologies to handle. But hey, in the world of ideologies, woke is still relatively new. Perhaps it just needs a bit more time to find its perfect match. So it seems like woke culture might be the left swipe in the ideological dating world, but hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea. If woke culture was a superhero, would it be Captain America or the Joker? Let's analyze its political alignment. Here's the thing about woke culture. It's like a chameleon, constantly changing colors to match the social justice issue of the day. But if we were to pin it down on the political spectrum, it would be lounging comfortably on the left, maybe even dipping a toe into the far left pool. Now, this isn't to say that every left-leaning individual is out there brandishing their woke badge with pride, but it does seem that woke culture has found a cozy home among those who subscribe to progressive ideologies. Think of woke culture as that quirky relative we all have who shows up at family gatherings with a new cause to champion. You know the one. They've switched to a vegan diet, are campaigning against single-use plastics, and are always ready to debate the merits of universal health care. Does it get a bit tiresome, perhaps, but you can't fault their passion. Critics of woke culture often argue that it's gone too far. They see it as an obsession with political correctness, an endless quest to be offended on behalf of others. They argue that it's a culture that prioritizes feelings over facts, that it's more concerned with virtue signaling than actual virtue. But here's another perspective. Maybe woke culture is simply about empathy, about recognizing and addressing systemic injustices, about advocating for those who have been marginalized or silenced. Isn't that a noble endeavor? Of course, like any ideology, woke culture can be taken to extremes. But isn't that true of any political or social movement? The key is balance and understanding, not mockery and dismissal. So if woke culture was a superhero, it seems like it might be more of a Deadpool, a bit chaotic, a little misunderstood, but with good intention most of the time. So where is woke culture heading? Is it destined for a Nobel Peace Prize or a one-way ticket to Mars? It's like trying to predict the weather in California. One minute it's sunshine and rainbows, the next it's raining cats and dogs. But let's put on our future goggles and try to see where this woke express might be heading. In one scenario, woke culture could become the norm. The world might become a place where everyone's aware of social injustices and actively working to rectify them. Imagine a world where everyone's so woke they don't even need coffee anymore. Jokes aside, this could lead to a more empathetic and understanding society, which is, without a doubt, a positive direction. On the other hand, woke culture could also go a bit overboard. We could end up in a world where saying "God bless you" after a sneeze is considered religious oppression, or where complimenting someone's new haircut is seen as an invasion of their personal space. We might have to tread on eggshells in every conversation, making sure we don't accidentally step on someone's toes. But perhaps the most likely future is somewhere in the middle. Woke culture could continue to raise awareness about important issues, leading to positive societal change. At the same time, we might also see a pushback against the more extreme aspects of woke culture, ensuring we don't lose our ability to communicate freely and openly with each other. In any case, it's important to remember that woke culture, like any other ideology, is not a monolith. It's a diverse and evolving movement with different people interpreting and applying it in different ways. Some might go to the extreme, while others use it as a tool for positive change. So there you have it, folks. Woke culture might be a bit like Marmite. You either love it or hate it. But one thing's for sure, it's here to stay, whether we like it or not.